Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for July 5th. July 5th is the 186th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 187th in leap years, with 179 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is a noun that refers to any of a genus of mostly Australian evergreen trees and occasionally shrubs of the myrtle family that are widely cultivated for their gums, resins, oils, and woods. Knowing this, one might think, oh, eucalyptus must be an Australian word, nothing Greek about it. But no, the word eucalyptus does hail from Greek. It was the name given to a particular genus of trees from EU plus calyptos, which meant well-covered or good cover, after a particular feature of the eucalyptus, the cover of the developing buds. How about that? First known use of the word eucalyptus is in 1801, eucalyptus. And remember, if you have a word you'd like me to explore in the Word of the Day section, pop it in the comments. We'll take a look at it. And with that, the Second Continental Congress of the United States adopted a document on July 5th, 1775, called the Olive Branch Petition. This was their final attempt to avoid war between the 13 colonies and Great Britain. Unfortunately, King George would have none of it and wouldn't even read the document. Instead, he simply declared the colonists traitors. Philadelphia's Liberty Bell took a trip on July 5, 1915. On this day, she left on a special train on her way to the Panama Pacific International Exposition. You know that Liberty Bell has got a crack in it anyway, so that must have been a real nail-biter. The upshot is that the Bell's custodians decided that's it, no more trips for the Liberty Bell. She could stay home now. If you happen to be a fan of the 1970s and 80s TV show MASH, you might remember a character from that show played by Jamie Farr, a character named Maxwell Q. Klinger. So you might be about as surprised as I was to learn that there actually was an individual named Max Klinger. The Max Klinger of this telling was a German symbolist painter, sculptor, printmaker, and writer born in 1857, and he comes to our attention today because it was on July 5, 1920 that the artist Max Klinger passed away at the age of 63. July 5th is Bikini Day. I didn't mention it at the introduction because there is an actual historical event associated with it, so we'll mention that right now. And it is that on July 5th, 1946, a young woman named Micheline Bernardini modeled the first modern bikini at a swimming pool in Paris. The garment was so brief that the designer, Louis Réard, could not find a runway model willing to showcase his revolutionary new design, as it revealed the wearer's navel and much of her buttocks. Quite risque for its time, he hired a nude dancer to model the garment. He named the bikini after the Bikini Atoll, recently the site of nuclear testing by the United States, because he reckoned that any girl wearing his design would be a bombshell. The bikini swimsuit began to see popularity in Europe right away, but it would be almost another 20 years before it would really begin to catch on in the United States. Bikini Day. BBC broadcast its first television news bulletin on July 5, 1954. Meanwhile, in America, Elvis Presley recorded his first single, That's All Right, at Sun Records in Memphis, Tennessee on July 5, 1954. That's all right, baby. This is the birthday of American singer, songwriter, and keyboard player Marc Cohn, born July 5, 1959. He's released 5 studio albums, 4 live albums, 2 compilation albums, and I count about 19 singles. We'll talk about one of those in Song of the Day in just a little bit. Looks like he's been married twice, has 4 children, and in 2005 he was the victim of an attempted carjacking. The emergency room doctors told him he was the luckiest unlucky guy they'd seen in a long time. And investigators said, frankly, I can't tell you how he survived. I'm sure glad he did, though. Marc has been nominated for 4 Grammy Awards and won for Best New Artist in 1992. Lovely sound, Marc Cohn. On July 5, 1971, the 26th Amendment to the United States Constitution, lowering the voting age from 21 to 18 years, was certified by President Richard Nixon. In honor of Marc Cohn's birthday, today's song is Walking in Memphis. Written by Marc Cohn and released in March of 1991, Walking in Memphis is his signature song and never fails to give me goosebumps. The song is autobiographical, the telling of a trip he took in 1985 to try to get through a bout of writer's block. I'd say it was successful. When he got back home to New York, he set about writing this song. Walking in Memphis got to number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100, the only one of his songs to get into the top 40. Walking in Memphis has done well worldwide and has been covered by several notable artists. Walking in Memphis by Marc Cohn, and you could bet your socks I've placed a link in the description to this song. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page that's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Alrighty, back to work. I think we got it this time.